Hello everyone. So today I want to do a video on if Justin Bieber is happy. I've been a believer since he started music. So let's just get into it. My cat might interrupt. Technically it's my roommate's cat, but we're besties. So it's Justin Bieber Happy. The sun in reverse. Okay. We'll talk about it in a second, I guess. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, let's do one more. There's a lot going on here. So you have the sun in reverse. The sun in reverse talks about like unhappiness a lot of the times. It can talk about like things being like in the shadows, or like something that's supposed to be in the light come to light isn't coming to light for whatever reason. You also have the two of pentacles in reverse. That talks about like a lack of balance, or like the balancing act like going askew, sort of like all the plates are spinning and they crash down. So something is out of whack entirely, especially because you also have the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles can talk about control, and I think he still has control, but it's like tight, it's too much, it's like almost smothering is what I'm getting. And that can be him, or that can be like someone around him. I'll need more information to really know that. But it's like there's some sort of like control going on, but it's controlling. It's not like good control. The Hierophant can talk about rules. They can talk about learning. It talks about like systems and policies and things like that. I have a feeling that in this case it's talking about like straight and narrow. I think it can also be talking about his relationship to his religion. So that's going well. It's nice to see. Although with the rest of I guess I'll just say it. With like the rest of the cards that are surrounding the Hierophant, I have a feeling that it's almost like religion is his life draft, which is good, but at the same time, like there's like it's getting in the way of this relationship. And I think that can totally depend on you. Like some people are like, no, like religion can never get in the way, and other people are like religion can sometimes cause rift in people's relationships. Well, I mean, that's observable, but like some people would argue that's not a bad thing, and other people would, but I have a feeling it's causing some sort of a problem with people around him with his religion. Like someone's like, you're too religious. That's what I keep getting. And then you have the Three Swords, which can talk about heartache and heartbreak. It talks about like hardships going on, especially romantic hardships. Oh, here comes the cat. Hardships in love. Let's get some more information. A lot's coming at him at one time. Like there's a lot. I mean, in general, this reading is really chaotic. Like it's just really chaotic energy. I don't know how else to explain it. Like I feel overwhelmed personally, but like whenever I get like the Eight of Wands, it's usually talking about like a lot going on at one time. It can talk about sort of like, I don't know, it's sort of like everyone wants something from you. People are always chattering about you. Like there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of movement. It's a fairly fast moving card. In this case, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. In this case, I'm getting the impression that it's like overwhelmed. So like that's what I'm getting, especially because the main question was like, is he happy? Which in terms of tarot is more just like this energy reading, and it's like, how is he feeling right now? And I'm getting very much so that he's overwhelmed with something. This card talks about rest and relaxation. That's nice to see. It can also talk about like slowing down. So like I don't know honestly what Justin Bieber's up to. I think he's on tour or something like that. I'm not really sure. Whenever I get this card, it's like an advice card. It's like indicating like, hey, maybe you should take some time for yourself. You should relax a little bit, especially if you haven't been in a while. So this could be a good or bad card. Usually it's like a hint card, like an advice card to do something whenever I get it. The World in reverse talks about like a cycle having not been completed, like something's not finished, there's unfinished business, something's not been done. In reference to what though? I kind of want more information. This reading is so sloppy. Whatever, we're going with it. The King of Cups. I don't know what he shows up as, to be honest. He might show up as the King of Cups. I'm not sure what his sign is. I'm such a fake fan. I have no idea what his sign is. I used to know what his birthday was. I don't remember. Anyway, the King of Cups. Cups is usually emotional. It's an emotional suit. And when it's in the reverse, especially the King of Cups, which, like, when you look at his throne, it's really stable. When it's upside down, especially with the water, and the water's really choppy, it's really chaotic, it's giving me the impression that, like, he's unstable, or, like, there's something going on that's making him feel very unsteady, very tumultuous. It seems like it's internal, though. I think he's, like, trying to hold it down and hold it in, because, like, it's all very chaotic, but it's not, like, there aren't any arrows, like, going out. There's nothing to me that indicates that, like, a lot of people around him really know what's going on. I think just, like, maybe his very close inner circle, but otherwise I think most people are like, no, like, Justin's fine. I think he's very much keeping his problems to himself, but he feels really, like, out of sorts, really, like, tumultuous in some way. This can talk about paranoia. It can talk about, like, boundaries, but, like, turning into barriers almost, where it's like a big wall. It's not a good sign, personally. You have the King of Wands. That talks about, whoa, that's not good news. Especially because this card should talk about paranoia, the King of Wands. That can also talk about, not necessarily paranoia, but, like, your thinking being sort of scattered and, like, all over the place and sort of frantic almost. Very fast moving, very chaotic, almost, like, bordering on, like, manic maybe, just a little bit of, like going around a racetrack, like, 1,000 times and not really getting anywhere. That's the, I'm not saying he's manic, but, like, that's like the air of it, very, like, frantic, his thinking. I feel like he has fake friends around him. This card is like a friendship card. When it's in reverse, it talks about, like, there's like, there's fake friends around you. I don't know how else to put it. Or, like, either there are fake friends or he feels like there are. And in general, I get the impression that he doesn't feel like he can trust anyone necessarily. Especially just because, like, all of these cards that we're getting are not, like, they don't point to happiness, because like the Sun cards that we started off the gate with, the Sun card when it's in the reverse position can talk about unhappiness. The King of Cups in reverse talks about, like, tumultuousness and unhappiness. The Three of Swords talks about unhappiness. The King of Swords can talk about, like, unhappiness in your, like, thinking, or, like, chaos in your thinking. There's a lack of balance, there's a lot of control, there's a lot of paranoia. I feel sad, to be honest. Like, I really like Justin Bieber and I'm bummed. Okay, so how can, in the next 3 months, let's get some help. The next 3 months, what can Justin Bieber do to course correct himself? It's like he'll ever watch this, but it's interesting to know what the tarot says. What can he do to course correct in the next 3 months? Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles, the suit tends to talk about, like, money and finances. Especially, I get the impression, like, this is, I mean, in terms of advice, and getting the Ace of Pentacles can talk about, like, getting your money right. And that can talk about not necessarily, like, he doesn't have enough or he's not, like, good financially, but rather just, like, how he spends it or what he does with his money. And by extension, what he does in his free time, what he does with, like, his home life. The Pentacles for me also talks about home life a lot of the time. So, like, getting that in order and, like, how you want to spend your free time. Oh, that's such good news. Well, okay, not really. Never mind. I like getting the Death card just because death usually means reborn. When you get the Death card in reverse, though, it's like stalling something. It's like stagnation. So that can talk about, like, what's the word? Like, you're stalling your rebirth, for lack of a better word. Like, you're stalling, like, going forward and moving forward for some reason. So I think, like, addressing that whenever that pops up, it's usually that you have to address something in your life that's like keeping you from leveling up. Oh, it has to do with his past. What a bummer. He has to go into his past. There's something in his past that's haunting him for some reason. At least this card talks about the past a lot of the time. It can talk about childhood. It talks about emotions quite often. And there's something that's really conflicting him. I don't know. Maybe it's like, oh, I didn't have a childhood. I'm getting that impression where he's like, I missed out on a lot of like really big things, like a lot of milestones that like normal people go through. I get the impression that he's wanting more normalcy than he's getting, and just like wants to be more of a normal person. And like, you're a superstar dog, and he's frustrated with that. This card can talk about walking away from something, emotional unfulfillment, especially aimlessness. I think he's not necessarily sure where he's going. I'm getting the impression emotionally, like he's not sure emotionally, like with his relationships. In this reading, I'm not going to speculate on his relationship with his wife or his friends or anything like that, but I get the impression that he's sort of like, I don't know who to trust, I don't know what to believe, I'm not sure how to feel. So I'm getting that impression at the very least, that there's some sort of emotional aimlessness going on. Oh, that's good. So this is an advice card, and it's talking about like using his tools, gathering his like abilities up and using them to manifest what he really wants in life. And I think he really has a lot of like power. I mean, like clearly because like he's a celebrity and he's quite wealthy, but also just in general, like he has a lot more power than I think he realizes to like change his circumstance and to change his life and to really like improve his emotional self. No more. Yeah, he needs to walk away from something. There is something in his life that is not serving him, especially with the death card in reverse in this card, which tends to be the card like that indicates like walk away from something. It's not good for you. Like you're gonna be the loser if you stay rather than give up. There's something that he needs to walk away from. Honestly, I think it's his marriage. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been trying to keep that in for a while, but genuinely it feels like something's going on in his marriage. And it's not because I really like Haley, to be honest. I think she's pretty, I think she's nice. So it's nothing like that. It's just genuinely, I'm getting the impression that it's like, it's something to do emotionally. It has to do with a close relationship of his. I'm getting the impression that it has to do, I don't know, I think his unhappiness comes a lot from his marriage. Let's see. Judgment. Feeling judged. Maybe it has to do with his fame, but he also like just had a comeback. Maybe he wants to go back from that comeback and he's like, oh, I don't like this. Or feeling judged from like a divorce, maybe? Knight of Swords. That's a very quick moving card. Oh, but when it's in reverse, it's not quick moving. With the death, baby, there's something in it. I am telling you, there is something in his life that is like stalling, that he needs to just nip. He's gotta freaking cut it out of his life. It's gonna be so painful. He doesn't want to do it. And I think that's what's causing him a lot of emotional turbulence, whatever it is. It's very painful. I think it's going to be public, whatever it is. I mean, like, everything he does is public, but this one, it's going to be, like, a big spectacle. It's not just, like, texting your friend and I don't want to be your friend anymore. Like, it's a big relationship. It might have to do with his manager, maybe. I don't know. I'm getting the sense that it's romantic in nature just because of this card. This card doesn't have to be romance, but often it is. I don't know. I feel really bad, but ultimately, I think just nipping, there's something in his life that he needs to get rid of. And I think the cards are saying, like, once you do that, you'll blow up. Like, things will improve for you. You'll feel better. Ripping the band-aid off is, like, the main piece of this. Well, thank you for watching. Justin Bieber, if you ever see this, I really hope things improve for you. Okay, goodbye.